first things that you did as a professional filmmaker?
As a professional filmmaker? Well, I was making...
What was that sigh about? As a professional filmmaker? What the hell was that?
Can I talk?
No. I need to know why you sighed like that.
Is this an interview about me, or,
yeah.
or is this you pontificating?
Yeah, well, you know, it might be a little of both. The Franklin Canyon Trail with Sean CAIN.
Well, hello there.
So Sean.
Yes, Jason.
Tell me about your childhood.
Well.
No, actually, this is a real question. So when you were a kid, did you make movies or did you love movies? What was your childhood like when it came to cinema?
When I was a child, my father purchased one of those early VHS systems that was hooked permanently to a boat anchor VCR as I'm about to slip down the mountain, and we used to do home videos.
Okay.
Mostly recreate scenes from Mike Hammer TV show, because he loved Stacy Keach and Mike Hammer, and so we would do those in my father's living room, and I used to dream of being able to take the camera outside and make my own videos, but alas, because it was such a boat anchor system, I couldn't do very much with it. So
we're actually at Franklin Canyon, which is this incredible place, a really beautiful place, where a lot of films were shot. They shot the film It Happened One Night here. They shot the opening to the Andy Griffith Show. It's definitely, and it's right in the middle of Cityland. The film, the very first Creature from the Black Lagoon was shot here.
I love that film. In fact, I saw that in 3D with my dad when I was a kid. And so, yeah, all those Universal monster movies are definitely close to my heart, having grown up watching that. I like those a lot more than like a slasher movie. That's more my thing, or Frankenstein rather than Jason and Freddy. So maybe that makes me an old guy, I don't know.
I think the Creature from the Black Lagoon was legit. Whoops, whoa, I'm gonna try and kill myself. I think, you know, because, I mean, here's the thing. Like a movie like Jaws, you know, okay, yeah, it's scary to be in the water. Well, just get out of the water. I mean, it's not like the shark's gonna crawl up and, you know, kill you, you know, when you're driving down the street. But the lagoon guy...
Unless it's a sand shark.
Yeah, well, obviously. But the Creature from the Black Lagoon, man, had legs and gills, and I mean, got out of the...
Sure did.
What was the Creature from the Black Lagoon's motivation? Like he liked girls or something?
I think he's just like most monsters. He's misunderstood. I used to go to a small community college called DVC, Diablo Valley College. And my first love was editing. I would take clips from all the different movies and I set them to the William Tell Overture. Okay, so... and doing fake trailers like for Blade Runner and things like that. And so there was another local filmmaker who had just gotten out of jail a year prior that I met through a friend of a friend, and he saw that. Hello.
Hi.
He saw that and he decided that he liked me. Of course, that filmmaker's name is Victor Salva. And he had made the one film Clown House and diddled the kid, went to jail. I met him when I was 20. And like I said, he'd been out for a year, living in the living room of his friend. And I helped him make a film that's never been released called Kindred Spirits. And that's where I learned, or figured out, like, okay, kind of sort of like the Wizard of Oz, you pulled back the curtain, you saw it's just a little guy. It's easy to do, you know, it took the magic away a little bit. And I realized I could do that.
What's your favorite Universal monster?
Bride of Frankenstein. That's one of my favorite films of all time.
So you like The Bride of Frankenstein?
It still holds up really well today. It's so
weird.
No,
what I meant was do you like The Bride of Frankenstein?
Yeah, I wish I could marry the bride in The Bride of Frankenstein. No, just kidding.
Yeah, but here's the question. Here, come on, let's keep walking.
Oh, okay.
I have a question about The Bride of Frankenstein, and I think it has to do with the confusion. Shouldn't it be The Bride of Frankenstein's monster?
That's just too confusing. You're making it awkward now.
I mean, why is Frankenstein so important now, like in 2017,
I don't know.
as it was over 100 years ago?
Is he important now? I don't know if important is the right word, but didn't originally Mary Shelley write that novel because her child had died? So part of it is second chance, coming back to life. I think all those monster movies really are about people who feel like they're outsiders, which we all feel at some point, creating the perfect mate or the perfect friend, or but then obviously the movie's all about losing control. I mean, as a scientist trying to be the ultimate controller, trying to be the creator figure, and completely losing control of that creation both times.
Well, do you think? I mean, I think that there's also definitely, it's rooted in Christianity, and the idea that you're like, man should not be God, and when man does things that try to become a god, trying to create life, there's major consequences. I mean, in similar ways, you say like, I mean, now that we're in sort of a Crystal Lake-like area, in movies like Friday the 13th, where, you have these, teenagers who sin, or sort of, behave in an unchristian way, and then they get, regulated by some kind of masked assassin.
Well, if you want to get academic about it, there is a really good book called Men, Women, and Chainsaws by Carol Clover that goes into stuff like that. So,
do you have like an Amazon link where you get like 10% on that book?
No, I don't, but maybe I should set one up now.
What was your first check that you got as a filmmaker? Like someone wrote a check like, thank you for editing this thing, here's $20 or whatever. What was the first check you got?
That's a good question. I mean, I came here in Los Angeles in '99, and I was still making sort of these low-budget backyard videos.
Backyard wrestling?
Yeah, backyard wrestling videos.
Were you the guy who did the bum fights?
Yeah, that was me, but I was the bum.
Okay.
No, I mean, my first film, Naked Beneath the Water, so I started working for this shitty distribution company, just the lowest bottom of the barrel scum. I guess I got paid a little bit, but not very much. But I used it as a way to get that film distributed.
By the way, that's very rare for a distribution company to be that,
to be scummy.
Yeah, be that way. But who knows?
I think this was they were extra scummy. But anyway, so I got that film distributed, and they still ripped me off, even though I was working for them. They still found a way to rip me off from actually getting any money. But my goal was to get it out there, and I was able to do that, and because of that, I met Wes and Mary Laurie, who actually became investors in my next two films, where I wrote one of them and Wes wrote the other, and so we did these two films back to back. And so,
what were the titles of these films?
Silent Night, Zombie Night, and Breath of Hate, aka The Last House, which is a terrible title. It was retitled and finally distributed years later. But
the remake of the Wes Craven film.
No. It's such a fucking retarded title. But I guess that was the start of my professional career, was to... I mean, it was a great opportunity that Wes and Mary gave me, where they just blank check. Well, I mean, we had a budget, obviously, that was pretty low for both films, but they didn't interfere at all, and I was just able to make these movies and get them done, and it was a great learning experience, and like I said, I got them both distributed. So and from that, I was able to segue into these monster movies and dinosaur films and disaster pictures, and that's probably more of a professional thing, where I was actually getting paid by these distribution companies to edit and direct these films. So
my favorite movie of Sean Cain's is called Jurassic City. And tell us about making that film.
Well, originally what I wanted that film to be was a cross between Raid the Redemption and Attack the Block. And it's going to be a group of kids, sort of kids that lived in the ghetto, lived in these high-rises, fighting dinosaurs. But what I was told was, we like your idea, we want to do a dinosaur movie, but it needs to be sorority girls. And since they were footing the bill, and I wanted to make a movie, I said, all right, sure, whatever. And it turned out, it might be my favorite film to date that I've made. So,
do you feel like that note of putting sorority girls in place of young urban kids was a good choice, or do you feel like that choice was just maybe just basically purely a commercial choice?
It was definitely a commercial choice. Whether it was the wrong choice or not, it's not for me to say. I mean, they sold the shit out of that movie. My theory is I call it the shiny box theory. Okay, so we want to have all the magpies come to the shiny baubles, right? And so that's all the bullshit that they do to get you to want to watch this movie, to come to the theater, sit your ass in the seat. Inside the box,
okay, is
the story that I want to tell, the stuff that makes me excited.
Okay.
So we could have a dinosaur movie. It could be you know, a cowboy movie, a samurai movie. It doesn't matter what the genre is ultimately within those parameters. Great movies are remembered, I think, not for the whole movie. Like, for instance, one of my favorite movies of all time, The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. And that's a long-ass film. And what do I remember from that film? Not the whole thing, but certain moments, like the end where they're searching for the gold and they have the gunfight, you know, things like that. I think their movies become indelible because they have these scenes that just stick with you that are so awesome. Like when you think of Jurassic, I just keep on saying Jurassic City, Jurassic Park, what do you think of? You think of the great scenes, like when the kids are in the kitchen and the velociraptors come in and they like go through the ceiling and the velociraptor jumps up and almost bites their leg. You know, really you go to that movie because you want to see shit get fucked up. And you want it to be fun and you want to care about the characters and go on the ride with the characters. You know, you want to be on a ride. We want to see the shit get fucked up, man. That's fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. Well, that's what makes you a filmmaker of the people. I want to see people building things. I want the shit being repaired.
You just want a couple of people in a room. You can only take that energy and put it into something that actually matters. Just think how much better this planet would be.
Yeah, well, I mean, most people that hate, they can't do, or they've never done. They're in their mom's basement, basically.
I suppose.
I think you can qualify to hate if you actually make really good shit.
Yes, everybody has an opinion, so.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's room for everything. I think if you hate something, you have to also turn the camera on yourself and say, okay, well, why am I hating this? Is it because I'm jealous? Why am I hating this? Is because, you know, I'm angry and unsatisfied with my own life. Whatever. You know, I think as a filmmaker, you know, and when you put yourself out there, and you're definitely going to get scrutiny, and people are going to. This is actually turning out to be a nice little trail. Anyway. But
I'm just waiting for the cannibals to get us.
I'm waiting for the haters to get us. Oh no, there's some haters.
Right here, I'm a hater.
Yeah, you are.
The breath of hater.
I think in some ways, I think that's why we're friends. In some ways too.
We hate everything.
Because we hate us. No. We sort of understand the business, how ridiculous it is. I think that I have friends that make.
Smoke and mirrors bullshit.
I have friends that make really interesting quality films, and then I have and then I have hack friends that make no. Then I have friends that make kind of stuff that just goes. It sells. A lot of times, when I was working in film sales, You know, it's like you see like this incredible film that speaks truths and is incredible and just beautiful, you know, beautiful moments and special. It's like, and you look at it, like, oh, this is such an incredible film. It moved me, it made me cry. It's like, I can't sell it. And then you see it like, you know, piece of shit with, you know, Catholic schoolgirls getting attacked with an octopus with tentacles, and you know, oh, I could sell that, you know.
Well, that's an example. I was saying earlier that I made 2 films back to back, Silent Night, Zombie Night, and the movie Breath of Hate, which is now called The Last House. Okay,
on the left.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So Silent Night, Zombie Night sold right away. It's a genre zombie film. Breath of Hate is a weird, non-linear, interesting, I find it interesting, weird love thing. But, and I would get...
It was hard to categorize the film.
Well, the distributors would say, I like this film, but I don't know how to sell it. And so then they wouldn't pick it up. And it sat there for, I don't know, 5 years until finally someone picked it up. They changed the title, and there it went. But yeah, that's the hard thing. Like, how do you want to make a movie that sells, that people like, and then maybe you're saying something interesting, and that's what goes back to the shiny box theory.
Problem is that it's very hard to put a message in the shiny box. Maybe,
No,
maybe.
it's not.
Well, no. Well,
yes.
What I'm saying, you have to be very skillful, and not only that,
That's true.
but a lot of these film distributors, they just want the shiny box. If they see anything good inside that box,
They don't look that far.
really,
My experience is...
they better not watch this video. Woo!
No. My experience is if you hit certain benchmarks, that's all they care about.
Tell us about your disaster movie.
Eruption LA. What a disaster. No, I mean, I got to make 2 films with Mar Vista Entertainment. And they were both vastly different experiences. I mean, the one good thing about that is I met a fellow filmmaker / writer, producer, Jake Helgren, who have now edited a bunch of Lifetime films for me. He basically called me up out of the blue. They had seen Jurassic City, and they were making a film called Terror Birds. And even though he's also a filmmaker, him and the other producer had no experience with those kind of special effect type films, so they didn't know how to do that, so they had me do that. Eruption LA, and it was like the flip side of the coin. Best crew I've ever worked with, great actors, you know. Look at that guy right there. What a weirdo. So Jason says that this is where The Creature from the Black Lagoon was filmed. I'm gonna turn it around.
It looks like a Black Lagoon. I mean, the water looks black, right? They had to chase the blades away.
The only problem is a lot of the film had that big giant boat they were coming in on, and so I don't know how they would get the boat into this little lake.
They shot the pickups here. I don't know.
He doesn't know. Listen to this guy.
Maybe it's an old wives' tale.
He doesn't know crap.
I'm doing the best I can. The thing I like about The Creature from the Black Lagoon was it was literally a 3D movie where the 3D actually really worked. Like you could actually, see the 3D.
I didn't see that. I saw it, but as a kid, so I don't really remember. I remember the 2 3D movies that I went to see with my dad were Creature and then House of Wax.
House of Wax, the 3D worked.
Yeah, so we actually saw those on film back when they still projected film. But, you know, it was fun. That's definitely, when my kid gets old enough, I'm going to try to show him all the monster movies.
So you mentioned, actually today is Sean Kane's son, Ronan's birthday.
My son turns 2 years old today.
How do you feel having a son affects your filmmaking?
Well, obviously my focus of what's the most important thing to me has shifted from being this creative filmmaker to taking care of that kid. I mean, the best thing I ever did was have him, and he's a lot more precious than some shitty dinosaur film. So I don't have the same time to dedicate to hustling jobs as I used to. But I don't know, whatever, it's great, I love him. I can't wait to have him grow up a little bit more, and I can, like I said before, have him see all these monster movies that I saw when I was a kid. So it's like getting to be a kid all over again with your kid. That's great.
So there you have it. We hiked with Sean CAIN. I hope you had a great time. Sean, do you have anything else to say? Any last requests? Creepy man. There's a creepy man behind me.
No, I have nothing to say.
Okay, well, I guess we worked this out, man. Anyway, so this is Jason Cartalian signing out, and thanks for watching, and keep creeping.